Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hanging Out with Howie. Tonight, I have an honored guest here, Trevor Shrman, aka DJ Scrappa. On top of the world down under is his catchphrase, and he will be our featured guest tonight. As always, I got my wingman with me there, Brian S. Red. In case I get tongue-tied, he can speak. And we've got some Twitchers in here from Boston. We've got John Colley.
Hey.
And from Temecula, California, another Twitcher, Jay Brannon.
What's up?
And, we've got Bill Marsh. Bill Marsh, I don't know if you're a Twitcher or not, but welcome. And
No twitching.
Crabs.
Oh, okay.
He has crabs.
So, Scrappa, this has been a long journey for you, and you've had the rug pulled out from you a few times when you've had gigs, and then the government would shut down for different things. Tell us about your journey from the beginning. What made you decide to become a DJ for hire?
Well, hi everyone. It started back at the end of 2018. I wasn't really going to be a DJ for hire or a mobile DJ or any DJ.
Mm-hmm.
The reason came about between my wife and myself. We have 5 kids, and we had 5 21sts, 3 18ths, a 40th, and a 50th birthday party in a 5-year period.
Wow.
Now, to hire a DJ, I was looking at minimum $500 for the night. To hire the gear, I was looking at probably $300 a night. And I came up with the idea, it was Christmas time and I had some surplus cash and that. I thought, I'll go and have a look and maybe buy an entry-level controller and some speakers, and maybe a couple of party lights. And that way we could do our own music, DJ, whatever. Because previous parties, all it was a speaker in the corner with an iPad on a iTunes playlist or a Spotify playlist. So that's where it started. So I went and bought the gear with some money for Christmas. So it was a Christmas present to myself. And that's where it started. So then probably did a New Year's Eve party that year, just played some music through the gear. And I started watching YouTube videos and other videos on the internet on how to DJ. One of those people that helped me along the way with their videos was one and only Mr. Brian S. Red. And there was a few other different people there that I'd watched, and it slowly grew from there. And then it was my wife's 40th birthday party in June of 2019, where I probably really did a DJ thing and did the music for that birthday party. And it was probably one of our best parties that we had, because instead of people hiding outside in different corners and whatnot, just about everyone was in the hall, had probably 15 people up dancing all the night. And I'm thinking, maybe I could do this. So that's where it started.
Wow. And you also have an interesting story with your name that helped you buy DJ gear.
That's correct, Howie. That. So my real job, or first job, whatever you want to call it, is in the waste industry. And in that part of that waste industry over here in Australia, we call it hard waste. So people would put out their surplus furniture, junk, stuff that they've hoarded for years out in the curb, and we'd come along and pick it up and take it away. It was part of the local government rates. And so with that, I used to collect the copper and car batteries and lead, aluminium, power cords, because that got copper in it. And I'd collect that sort of stuff and go to the scrap metal merchant every now and then and cash it in. And the other thing I'd do is I'd find interesting and stuff that looked really good, where I think, I might be able to get some money for that either off eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or at swap meets or knick-knack markets. And I'd make money that way as well. So my entire DJ equipment, and it's probably up in around the $5,000-6,000 now, which I need to get out and do some gigs and get that money back, but it's worth it. So all that money to buy that gear has been raised from my day job in scrap metal or collecting stuff and selling it. I was working with a guy at the time that found out I bought the controller and speakers, who was a DJ, and he started calling me DJ Scrappa because of how I earned my money to buy my gear.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that's the story behind the name.
Oh, that's awesome. So then you decided to be a professional DJ for hire, and you came in here, and next thing I know, you're on a thing called Twitch with Jay and John, and they're helping you out, and you're networking in your own area. And tell us why you got this gig, because that came up in the first show.
Yep. So, so come Christmas 2019, 2020, I thought, yep, I could do this. I'm going to launch myself, put myself out there, created a page on Facebook and started putting my name out there. And then, unfortunately, we got coronavirus, and that put a big stop in it. But in the meantime, this chill room started up, and I saw a link in one of Brian's videos. I thought, I'll come along, sit there quietly, see what I could pick up, see what I can learn, maybe do a bit of network, even though most of the people in the chill room are in America. I can still learn from these people, which I have. And, so I did that. And then we kind of came out of lockdown towards the end of 2020. And I started to get a couple of bookings for gigs. And then all of a sudden, the government said no, lockdown again. And they kind of not happened. So there was another 12 months of lockdown, and so had to deal with that. In the meantime, I still networked. I started, so probably midway through 2019, I thought I'd get on and practice and do a few sets on Facebook. But of course, being copyrighted music, got muted, got kicked off, and between John, Jay, and myself, it was probably me and John, we started talking and we found Twitch. I don't know who brought it up. I think I was the first one to try out on Twitch, and from there we kind of started to play on Twitch. So mid-2019 to mid last year, I was constantly on Twitch. And that helped me to improve and develop my skills as a DJ, which was beneficial. Yeah, it's different to playing to a live crowd, which I had the experience the other weekend, but it gave me some grounding for that. So yeah, the Twitch has helped. And then from Twitch, I went to Mixcloud and started putting mixes up on Mixcloud. So
now, something that came up in the earlier show applies to you, where it's my definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity. You were prepared, and there was an opportunity because the other DJ got COVID, right? Isn't that how you got this?
yeah, so a fortnight, yeah, probably a bit under a fortnight ago, I was at home late in the afternoon on a Thursday afternoon, and I get a text message from a DJ here in Australia that I became friends through Twitch and started to network with them as well. They also have a once a week Zoom meeting, and got to network with a few guys here in Australia through Twitch. He sent me a message from another guy that was on Twitch that had a gig on the Saturday night, but he got COVID, so he was looking for a DJ to fill in for him. And so I sent back to Glenn, thanks, Glenn, for the heads up. I said, I'm friends with Mike through Twitch on Facebook. I'll send him a message. So I sent Mike a message and said, look, I'm interested. I'm free for Saturday night. And here's my phone number. I gave him my phone number. Give us a ring if you'd like to. Within 15 minutes, Mike rings me up. We chatted over gear I had, music, and stuff like that. And I said, look, I'll be honest with you, I have not done a live gig. I said, I've done some stuff on Twitch. He said, look, I've seen you on Twitch. I know what you can do. That's not a hassle. He said, I have to go and contact the guy that's booked the gig and run it past him, but I'm going to recommend you for the gig. And he asked if I could pass my phone number on to him, which I did. I said, yep, no worries. And then within another 20 minutes, Juan, who owns his DJ company, rings me up. And once again, goes, oh, Mike's recommended you. He said he's watched you on Twitch, blah, blah, blah. This is the gig. And, you know, and then he asked me if you're willing to take requests. I said, yeah, I'll take requests and whatnot. And I said, look, I haven't done a live gig. I've done stuff on Twitch. He said, look, Mike's recommended you. I've got no hassles. You've got to start somewhere. The gig's yours if you want it. And therefore, I've done the gig.
All right, you Twitchers, I'm going to let you have at it with them. Go ahead.
Or preparation meets opportunity. You know, all that time you put in, you say, what's this gonna get? And then the day the phone rings, you say it was all worth it. Somebody knows who I am and will make a decision based on what they've seen. So that's awesome. And we were all so happy that it finally came together, and bigger and brighter things are on your way down there.
Yeah, I think the time you spent in the chill room, and I remember in the beginning of 2020 when this, right after we'd done the photo booth expo, and it was, excuse me, all hell broke loose, and we were suddenly really locked down.
Yeah.
And I remember you just kind of being this quiet guy in the room, like, yeah, I'm not really a DJ yet. I've done a couple things. There were parties. Here's my rig. Here's what I've got. I've got this and this. And you just never let go. And I was always really impressed with that. I was impressed that you genuinely wanted to do it, and you were willing to put in the time and the study and everything else. And, you know, we all grew. I mean, I was, and I probably still am, the dumbest guy on Twitch when it comes to technology, because it's constantly a battle of, why can't I get this put together? How come I can't see this and this and this? And you really took to it quick. I mean, John's got an amazing setup. But you were like suddenly like, do this. You got to try this, Jay. I'm listening to a guy who's not gigging DJ, and I'm learning from him. And I think that that's one of the magics of being a DJ is if you're passionate, you have something to offer everyone else involved. So my hat's off to you, Scrappa. I mean, I'm very proud to see where you've gone, and I know you're going to have a bright future with it. And, you know, it's been impressive, and we've all helped each other in this room. And I think it's testament to what, you know, good people are willing to do for other good people. So I'm really proud of where you are. I don't take any credit. I don't feel any influence, but I do feel a sense of I got to watch you start at zero and work your way up the ladder. And, you know, for that, I'm proud of my involvement in the chill room. And I think John should be, and Howie and Brian and Bill and Brian K and Deb and, you know, Robin and JC and Alex and everyone that's been here, because I've learned from everyone. Everyone has said something that I picked up, that I put in my brain, and it's made me a better DJ coming out. I mean, you bought me pizza from Australia.
And I did.
I remember that.
In April of 2020, because I couldn't stand being in my house. And I thought, I'm going to go DJ in the driveway, and I'll go on Twitch. And I think I'd been on Twitch once to do a show for somebody else. And John helped me out a little bit on it. And all of a sudden I'm on Twitch on my phone. I'm in the driveway, and my main camera was just the Serato screen. And all of a sudden a girl's knocking on the door, and I'm blasting yacht rock. And it's like, yeah, I have pizzas. And all of a sudden the chat's like, did you get the pizzas? Scrappa sent them. I'm like, and I'm old enough to think like, wait, Scrappa's in Melbourne, Australia. How could he send me pizza? Apparently I misunderstood there was the internet. So I got really scared. Like, how does he know where I live? And how could he get me pizza? Well, you know, that's the magic of what the chill room has brought us. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just something like that. I mean, I'm really happy to be able to say, yeah, this guy in Australia saw me DJing and bought me a pizza.
You sent them from Saturday into Friday. That's also
right. Exactly. It went
sent
backwards.
them back in time.
It was ice cold. I'll admit it was ice cold because he ordered it a day ahead, but it still was very tasty. And he got vegetables and no meat. And yeah, you know what? I was very touched by that. And I was touched because it spoke to what the chill room brought all of us. But I was also touched by it because it spoke to what being a DJ is for each of us, and our support and our help with raids and our, you know, if I go on, you watch me. And if you go on, I try to watch you. And if John goes, you know, you get it. And I think that that's probably the thing we're not really making enough noise about here. You understand what it is to really be a DJ. It's not about flash. It's not about, look, I got this cool command center, and look at my lighting, and look at my sparklers, and look, I wear a suit. You're a DJ. You play music, and you do your best to mix it all and make it sound good and have an audience react to it. And that, by me, is the definition of a DJ.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, the pizza, the bar was set the week before. A couple of people had ordered you a pizza, and I thought, well, if they could order you a pizza, damned if I can't do it from Australia. And I set myself a challenge, and I thought, I'll look for a pizza parlor and I'll contact them via email. And sure enough, and they asked, is there any special? And I said, just make sure you're right on the box from Scrappa Down Under. And
yeah,
and they go, what, you in Australia? And I go, yeah, I'm in Australia. And it was
all of a sudden I got a pizza coming from Australia in my driveway, and the girl's knocking on the door on the front porch. My wife's out there, and it's like, hey, there's pizza here from a guy in Australia. And I'm like, wait, what? Because I'm like, how much do I owe? Who ordered this? She goes, a guy in Australia. I'm like, okay, I know like one person in Australia. It's either Scrappa or a stranger. So I figured immediately it was you. I opened it. I'm like, it's all vegetable. I'm like, okay, it's definitely Scrappa.
Yeah,
you know, he understands the no meat concept.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is awesome.
I tried to order a pizza with kangaroo on it for you, Jay, but
you know, I probably would have.
For some reason, they didn't understand.
Bow, you know, they didn't have the drop beer. They have the new
drop bear.
the drop bear pizza. That's new now. That's actually catching on here. It's actually huge in America now. Drop bear pizza. But, you know, that's you know, the change. We don't talk about that.
But one thing you did say, Jay, was you know, how different people have helped me along the way. It hasn't always been like that. Sometimes you do talk to a DJ and they didn't want to bar a soap with you, and because I'm in my early 50s, they go, what the hell are you trying to learn to DJ at 50? And I just turn around and I said, challenge, something new, something different.
But by the way, for what it's worth, the most popular DJs on the planet now, with probably 3 or 4 exceptions, are north of 50.
Yeah, closer to 60.
If you look around and say, name 5 great DJs, when they say Calvin Harris, Tiesto, Calvin Harris is over 40, Tiesto's over 50, Danny Tenaglia is over 50, Carl Cox is over 50. I mean, you know, Fatboy Slim is over 50. There's more quality headliners at EDC over 50 than under. All you have to do is look at the numbers. So learning this, if you're passionate about music, which I think is really the biggest roadblock to becoming a great DJ, if you love music and you want to learn the mechanics of it, you're good to go. You're good to go. And you've proven that, you know? I mean, you started with like a little SB3 controller and some speakers you found and some lights you found, and now you've got a rig, and you could go out and go to a club and get on a CDJ 3000 system worth $7 or $8 and still do the job you have to do because you've learned and understood that it's a process and there's mechanics involved. But it always comes down to one thing. If you don't understand the music, if you don't understand there's a crowd, then it's all for naught. It doesn't matter, you know, what you think, because there's people involved, you know, and that's what Twitch has certainly taught me. I mean, there's people, you know, just going on Mixcloud is one thing. You hope your mix is good. But with Twitch, which is where you started, really, it's taught you that there's an audience and they'll react and they'll talk to you, you know, I mean, and that's never changing. Every Twitch set is different. Every Twitch set is a learning experience. So you put in your hours, and I think that's why you've gotten the payoff you've gotten.
Yeah.
So true. Brian,
Yeah,
do you have any words of wisdom for our new success story here?
I don't know that Trev told us about the gig. Everything leading up to it, which I knew already, but
that's true.
Didn't hear about the gig. I'd like to know what happened. What happened? Tell us about it.
So it was a 40th birthday, and the venue was called the Barn. I had been there years ago, and when I had been there, I think it was owned by a bikie gang at the time.
All right.
I know the language you speak. Keep going.
But it was a really nice venue back then, and it was respectable, and you know,
sure.
I don't know if they still own it or someone had bought it out, but anyway, I found Jay's ultimate dive bar. The place would be a spot-on place for a dive bar.
Nice.
So it's been neglected a little bit. I don't know if that was because of COVID or whatever, but it could do with a real good freshen up. So yeah, that was the venue. So just imagine a small factoryette that's been turned into a venue for live music. So I've gone there, I've set up. The first thing I came across...
Let me just stop you right there. How long did it take you to load in and set up?
From time of getting there, I got there at 5 o'clock, and I was all set up by 6 o'clock.
Okay. You took your time,
that's
or
pretty good for the first?
I did.
First time.
I did take me time. It was a basic setup, but I just took me time.
Were you nervous?
A little bit.
Okay. I mean, but you knew everything worked. You had it set up at home 50 times. You knew it
Yep.
worked.
I've set it
There's
up
still that thing in the
quite a
back of
few
your
times. Yep.
Did I forget something?
Well, because of late notice of the gig and that I didn't really have time to sort through stuff. So I just grabbed every bag of cables I had.
Maximum Trev.
Because by the time I got to loading my car and, so I put everything I could into the car that I knew that I needed without having to go through and start pulling out this XLR cord, this DMX cord, this microphone cord, this power cord. It was already in bags. I just loaded it into the car.
Right. And you'll do it different next time because you know.
Next time I'll actually have things sorted. So what I'm going to plan on doing, because I've got a couple of different setups I have a small light. Let's say it's the Scrappa gig bar because it's not a Chauvet gig bar or a Max Light gig bar. I thought of it, built it, put it together.
Sure.
So it's just basically 2 mini Quintas from Chauvet and a FXQ5 array wash light from Chauvet. So just 2 of those that I'll put on the gig bar. Not a gig bar, but on a T-bar.
A T-bar,
light truss. Yep.
Well, so how long did you go? How long did you play for?
I played for 5 hours. Actually,
wow.
I probably played.
That's 4 hours longer than Jay's ever played.
So that would be an extended wedding.
Overtime.
5 weddings in a row for Jay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually probably 5.5 hours because I thought, well,
that's not possible.
Party started at 7:00.
Oh wow!
So people started walking in the door at about 10 to 7. But I thought, well, I'm going to start playing music before people arrive.
Sure.
So that there was music there already.
How many people did you have in total? Do you think
there was 80?
Okay.
80 guests for the party.
And do you remember what song you were playing when the first dancer hit the dance floor?
Yeah, the first dance. It took a while to get them dancing, but it was about quarter to 10. I put on Rock DJ,
Robbie Williams. Yes,
into Uptown Funk, and that brought them out. So
what was the first song you played as a professional paid DJ? Get Mobile DJ was the first track.
That I can't remember, but
Old Matilda by
you got to remember your first
Midnight
track.
Oil.
I think it was California Love by Tupac.
Wow. All right on. I remember the first song I ever played.
Start.
We all remember those.
Yeah.
So on the sheet that I got for the gig, it was meant to be R&B, 80s, 90s, and noughties, or 2000s, whichever way you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And finishing the night off with Ministry of Sound.
Wow.
So I was given a song playlist of about 30 songs, which didn't really match the genre request.
Right.
I was given another Spotify playlist of 90s Ministry of Sound, and the party boy came up at 10 o'clock and goes, "Oh, let's crank this up." And I go, "Yeah, I'm moving into the Ministry Sound stuff now." And I had Ministry of Sound noughties and Ministry of Sounds 90 in a playlist that I created on the Saturday morning. And he looks at it and goes, no, that's not what I want. I go, what do you want? He goes, I want something newer than that. So he gets there and shows me a playlist that he had, which was probably Tomorrowland and Coachella of 2010 to now, and it was all EDM and tech house and newer house stuff. And
Welcome
high
to the
BPM.
wonderful world of DJing. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Just another
And-
playlist.
game.
Yeah.
And so
Trial
he
by
gets there and he
fire.
goes,
Wow.
can you play that stuff? And I said, well, I said, here's my phone number. Send that playlist as a text message to me and I'll see how it goes. So he sent it to me. I'll get it. And I'm start going, I've got that one. And I'm searching these and I'm putting them up in a prepare folder. And he goes, oh, perfect. You got going. And I got them. And they went off for the next hour and a half till midnight.
That's a good feeling.
And
That's awesome.
And people would come up and go, oh, look, can we go back to the R&B stuff? And I said, no, look, sorry, the party boy wants this stuff, so I'm playing this. I played most of the night was R&B, rock,
Sure.
pop, and stuff like that. So, and he wanted this, so I played that, and and then next minute a girl comes up and asks if she could have Gimme, Gimme, Gimme by ABBA. And I go, look, party boy wants this. Oh, but the next minute she's got him on FaceTime and he gets there and gives a thumbs
He said
up.
he could play my song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to it, man. You were there. That is what it is.
That's the experience.
I never had a word for this, but I think what you need to learn to do is play what I guess I'm coming up with off the top of my head. Learn to play ping pong with this stuff. So you just kind of bounce back and forth with sets, and that way you're not doing like an hour of this, an hour of this, an hour of that. So you're just
If your client's dancing, the guy paying you is dancing on the dance floor, and everyone's joining him. Just go there.
Yeah.
Because, like, if a bride and groom love what you're playing, but they're not dancing, it's sometimes difficult to get everyone to dance because they want to hang with the party boy, the bride and groom, whoever. So
it was a little bit
them out. You're good.
It was a little bit frustrating, and like he did say, he just wanted to chill for the first couple of hours, which is understandable because people came from, I think there was some islanders that came from overseas for his birthday. There was interstate people that come for his birthday. And then a lot of his friends and that lived far away. And I'm guessing over the last 2 years with not a lot of socialising and catching up and meeting. And they wanted to talk. They wanted to mingle and talk.
Yep.
And
naturally.
Which was understandable, and I'm thinking these guys aren't going to get up on the dance floor. But I got them there. We held them there for the last 2 hours. I played about 3 or 4 songs.
You had him dancing for 2 hours. That's
the next minute they come up and
Jay's
go,
whole wedding is 2 hours.
We want to do the speeches now, and I go, oh, yeah, no worries, not a problem.
I mean, you got to look. It's a perspective, Scrappa, that you pick up as you go. And you're right. All my events. I mean, I've already done 25 events, I think, this year, and they've all had a certain vibe. And the vibe has been, I'm with my family and friends that I haven't seen in 2 years. And I've told all my clients, I want a lot of dancing, but the reality is, these are people you don't get to see all the time. So the dancing is very much the icing on the cake. So if you can tell your clients that going into the event, hey, I'm all about dancing, I'm the DJ, but I'm also all about you people hanging out and having a good time and talking, because you haven't seen some of these people in over 2 years. They understand the expectation and it changes a little bit. They want to hear fun music, but don't be disappointed if the dance floor isn't full. Don't be upset that they want EDM. My EDM wedding a couple weeks ago, they did dance all night on EDM, but there was also a break in the middle where I probably played 8 songs that were just, Low and Pitbull and Earth, Wind and Fire and stuff that you would normally play, and people still danced and responded. But that's what they wanted. They wanted people to leave their event and be happy. So understand, as the DJ, don't get lost on music when you can get lost on a great event.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, and I think you did just the right thing. I saw the video clip of you playing ABBA, and you had a full dance floor. So
Yeah,
you did
full
the
dance
right
floor.
thing. You made something work within what was going on. And for what it's worth, and Brian, John, Howie, I'd love to hear Bill. I'd love to hear your answer. When someone comes up to me at a wedding and requests something, I tend to go on the side of, hey, that's a great request. Let me see what I can do to make that happen. Or I'll do my best to get that song on, but just A, don't promise. And B, the only time you want to kind of throw the client out is when we want to do line dances. You know what? I think the client's going to be real happy if I don't play those. Yeah, they hate the cha-cha slide. I get it. Because, people know who they're there for. They showed up to support the person that's paying you. And that's kind of the business end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when someone did come up and ask for a request, I said, look, I'll try and play that. Except for one girl, she kept coming up and wanted California Love 2-pack. I said, I played that at the start of the night. She'd go off. She'd come back 10, 15 minutes later. California Love 2-pack. Oh, that's right. You already played it. Sorry. And she went away.
Perfect. That's a great guess.
This sounds like things that have happened to us during our career, but you got them all in one gig. You were trial by fire for sure, and you pulled it off. That's amazing.
I wouldn't say it was a absolutely banging success gig, but I wouldn't say I bummed out for my first gig either. It ran smoothly. Yeah, and I was able to get through and do the night. And
what did you learn?
What did I learn?
Good question. Ooh.
What did I learn? A Ford Falcon XR6 Turbo is not a DJ movable vehicle.
That's important.
Yeah.
Good one.
I had enough room just for me to get in the driver's seat.
It's you time.
Well, you did take 27 bags of cables, so you want to scale it back a little next time.
What else did I learn? I need to buy a hum eliminator or something because when I first set up, so the first thing I set up at the gig was the table, cloth, DJ deck, speakers, powered all that up, plugged the DJ laptop in, powered it up, so I had some music to listen to while I set the rest of it up.
Mm-hmm.
Before I started playing music, there was a nice good hum coming through the speakers. And I think also where the PowerPoints that I had to use to power my system up was right at the end, and I think it was only one circuit of power all the way through. And at that time, they were having the ovens on, heating up the food for the party. Because come speech time, when I stopped the music, that hum wasn't as noticeable. So, but yeah, I need something, either a power conditioner or a hum eliminator, just to, if that happens again, I can cut that out.
I carry one to every gig. I haven't used it in years, but I carry a hum eliminator box.
Oh, yeah.
That you plug into and then you plug out of to your speakers.
Yeah.
And when I've had to use it in the past, it wipes that out. So that's a great observation.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, the other smart thing is you started playing before people were there. So with music playing, they didn't notice the hum.
Yeah.
You got music going. You're in a no-win situation where you can't fix that. If you have music covering that up, nobody's going to notice.
Well, I hate to beat a dead horse in this, but I'm curious because it's interesting to me. The things I learned something every gig. I learned something at all 4 weddings last week. Every one of them, I walked away learning something I didn't know or something I need to work on. And I hear Brian's voice in my head. Why are you carrying so many cables? When I pull out the 18th IEC cable, I'm like, fuck, Brian's going to be like, what did I tell you, dude? I brought this up. I did a video. It's like, God damn it. Like, why do I even have this bag? And by the way, Brian, of the 6 bags I normally carry, I'm down to 4. And it's baby steps. It's literally for me, because I'm like, you know what? I'll kill that SOB at freaking Beret if I find out I needed that 18th IEC cable.
Right, or the iPhone cable for the iPhone that you haven't had since.
I have a bag that's got charging cables for gear that's not even in production anymore.
Right.
Like, what? I don't even know what this goes to. It's just like a wall wart with like a cable. Like,
yeah.
But I'm curious, Scrappa, what was the number one thing at the end of the night you walked away and said, the biggest thing I learned doing my first big professional gig was?
Biggest thing is I spent probably 5 hours Saturday morning working through playlists to try and get the music that he was wanting, and then 2 hours that night I was mixing music and finding songs that I hadn't even seen, heard, prepped, looked at, and was able to mix them. And I'm thinking, sometimes you just got to go by the fly of your pants and just do it. And I learned that I could do it on the fly with a live audience, and I'm thinking, that was good.
And that will happen at every gig you ever do.
And here's to you, your cherry has been popped.
Yep. Congrats. Welcome. Welcome to the club.
Welcome.
Every gig you do, they will tell you, we love punk. You do? We are all punk people, and you are going to show up and you're going to have a group of 75-year-olds who want to hear Glenn Miller, and you're going to have to figure it out. And that's every gig, every gig. Like every gig you do.
We hate rap.
Collection of Glenn Miller.
You got to have it.
We hate rap. Oh, by the way, do you have any 50 Cent? Well, that's rap. Yeah. Well, no, that's okay.
Hey, how about Biggie or Tupac?
Right. You got Tupac? That's rap. No, we like that though.
That's what's so great about being a DJ, Scrappa. With every gig, I'm doing a 21st birthday party this Sunday. 21st. The girl has special needs. And the mother and I talked before she hired me, and I said, I have no issues. She goes, she might make some noises or do some things, and her friends will. I go, I'm completely comfortable with that. What I need from you is what music is going to make her and her friends feel the best. That's what I would like to know. Because I have no issues. If they want to run in circles and act weird, that's great. I want to support them and play music where they can run in circles and feel comfortable. So, I mean, every gig's different,
You'll fit right in there with your noises, so...
That's what I was just thinking.
See, that's why I'm comfortable.
Jay runs around in circles and makes noises a lot.
I mean, it's a long night. It's a half-an-hour event. It's a very long night, under my standards. But, I think if I get some sleep starting Wednesday, Thursday, by Sunday, I should be okay. I could probably pull it off.
It's funny you say special needs. I'm just thinking to myself, because my stepson's special needs. He's almost 34 years old. He's intellectually he's a kid,
right?
But whenever we go to a party, he's on the dance floor all night.
Right,
he's dancing with everyone.
Oh no, Brian,
he
that's
actually
what I thought.
Can dance.
No, that's what I thought. That's my whole thing. She goes, she's
cool.
turning 21, but she's very spectrum. She's got this, and this. I go, I'm good with that. She goes, she may make some stuff and say some things. I go, I'm good with it. She goes, so you're comfortable? I said, I'm very comfortable. I said, in fact, I know if I play the right things, she'll have a great time. And she goes, well, all her friends are going to be the same way. I'm like, even better. Even better. I go, you just need to let me know what they like so I don't go down the wrong road.
Right.
And then even if I do, I'll fill it in.
Yeah.
I think my next book gig's going to be a little harder than the last one. It's probably a very tough age bracket. It's that 10 years old to about 15-year-old. It's a junior football and netball club. Disco.
BTS. Just play BTS.
Oh, well, you need to talk to Brian because he's a TikTok star now and he can tell you all the hot tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Brian's got it down. Astronaut in the Ocean. Brian was doing that jam years after it was a hit. He's fine.
Only in 30-second
A, B,
increments.
C, D, E, F. Yeah, Brian's down. Brian knows
that
exactly
note.
what I'm talking about.
So getting back to the music for the gig, at the end of the night, a guy came up towards the end of the night, probably had about 10, 15 minutes left to go. And he come up and he goes, what was asked for tonight for the music? And I said, well, this is what I was asked or told that was to play. R&B, 80s, 90s, noughties, finishing off with Ministry and Sound.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, if that's what you were told, that's what you did. You hit the mark 100%. And I said, well, thank you. He goes, can I have a card? I go, yep, no worries. Then after I'd finished loading everything back into my little sports car to go home, two guys get there and go, oh, great job tonight. They go, how long you been DJing? I said, well, this is my first gig. I said, I've probably only really been DJing since just ended 2019. They go, your first gig? I said
5 o'clock.
Yeah. 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Great job. And well done. They said, you smashed it. And I said, thank you.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you played 5.5 hours, you had to have done something right that they stayed 5.5 hours. Holy cow.
Well,
You held the crowd.
so the last request I got was K-San, which is Cold Chisel, which is an Australian group.
The Vietnam protest song, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind of. Horses, Daryl Braithwaite, which is another Australian guy.
Yep.
Jay knows him. He was out of the Sherbs.
Yep. Great singer.
Horses. Yep.
Great singer.
And to finish off, they wanted the Piano Man, Billy Joel.
Wow. That was very
Good finish.
Nice
That's a diverse.
closer.
that's,
And,
Did they sing along? Did they sing along?
Yep. So I said, look,
Circles?
So it's circles.
so yeah, I said, yeah, I'll put that on at about 5 minutes till 12. I said, I've got to finish at 12 o'clock. And sure enough, the whole room just starts singing. I should have got a video of it, but I didn't. Everyone that was still there, which was majority of them, all started singing K-San. They sang Horses. They sang Piano Man. And
Wow.
finished off with that. And then this guy comes up. He goes, can you play some hard techno now? And I go, it's 12:15. I said, I get paid till 12 o'clock. I said, I need to start packing up. I said, the bastard, oh, can you play some hard techno? So I probably could have kept going and played hard techno for them if they wanted it.
But by the way, Scrappa, when you do a gig at a hotel or a ballroom for a wedding or another client where they have hard endings, respect the hard ending. Like if it's 12, don't play at 12:01 because they'll blacklist you.
They
They'll
will.
literally be like, nope, this guy will go all night to be a good guy. We don't want that. So there's those little business things that as you move forward. The other thing is this. You had a great night. My suggestion to you is use Serato.
Yes.
I would take the history of the night you played. I would highlight it, and then I would make a new crate called, what was the guy, 40 years old, 30 years old, whatever?
Yep. 40.
I would simply go in and say 30-year-old party, and I would take the entire history and drag it into that crate. And I would make it something where you can look down the road in the future and come up with, another gig where you could play that. So now you have a history with an actual gig as a crate. So,
and also on the other hand, it's his first paying gig. I would like to have that as a keepsake.
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely, Howie. But I think the thing is, and this is what I've been doing, when I have a great wedding, a great event, a great whatever, I save the history so that down the road, 6 months, a year, 2 years later, I can go, man, this reminds me of that gig I did back in August, right after Expo. Oh, that was 30s and 40s. And there's a crate, 30s and 40s party, and I've got the whole night saved. So now I can go back into it and go, oh, I forgot I played this mix. I forgot I played this song. It's just a way of bettering your career as a DJ, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, we're. Oh,
Bill's
go ahead,
got a
Bill.
question.
Go ahead, Bill.
no, I was just going to point out a couple of interesting takeaways from this, since I didn't really get into it, just got to listen. So Scrappa did his first event. I did my, I don't know how many, but 25 some odd years event this past weekend. Scrappa forgot nothing at his first event. I had no headphones.
I did that at my last gig too. I forgot my damn headphones at my last wedding.
But the big similarity, Scrappa's doing a 40th birthday party and was asked to play Gimme, Gimme, Gimme by ABBA. I was doing a bat mitzvah, and it was a must play also at my party. Gimme, Gimme, Gimme by ABBA.
Wow.
That's the mom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, actually, it was the kids.
No,
Because I played Gimme Gimme in January at a bar mitzvah, and it was the mother of the two boys. I'd done the first son's bar mitzvah, and this was the second kid's bar mitzvah. And the mother came over, and distinctly, I remember her saying, you can play ABBA, right? Like from Mamma Mia, the Gimme 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 song. I'm like, sure. So I played it as well.
Yeah.
Some
But-
of the kids
But
are
you're
into
saying
too.
that, Bill. After the gig, I went home and then I had to go to work and do my garbage run. Didn't get home from that shower, and I had to go to my mum's 75th birthday party. And my niece was there, and she had the music in her headphones, listening to it, and she was listening to ABBA, Dancing Queen, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was, I can't remember what the third song was,
That's
but
awesome.
I believe that stuff is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Howie, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but I think it goes without saying that you'll understand why I'm saying this.
Yes.
Before the show ends, because I know we're coming up against it,
Yep.
I hope you have something you can show us, Scrappa, because somebody that we've lost who was very special,
Yeah.
Jimmy Spinn, very early in your career, made you what I think is still probably the best graphic of any DJ I know.
Yeah.
Do you have
the
a
best logo
koozie
ever.
or anything that can show off his logo that he created for you? Because I just remember thinking, Scrappa's not even a DJ yet, and he's got the best logo I've ever seen. Like, I don't
No,
have a
it
logo.
really
And I
is.
would hit Jimmy up, be like, yo, dude, I need a logo. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, do what you did for Scrappa. He's like, you want a trash can? I'm like, no, just like be inventive. He's like, well, here, I did this photo of you. I'm like, no, do something cool. Like make some weird triangle. I don't know. But yeah, Scrappa, I think and I think that was very, foreshadowing that you got by far what I still think is the best logo, the best, setup for a DJ who was brand new to it. So you came out of the gate with a lot of energy, in my opinion, the way that Jimmy Spinn, who we lost a couple weeks ago, created that logo for you. So I think it's kind of fitting that I wanted to just bring that up. I wanted to
Remember
make
Jimmy
sure.
did the logo, and
I do too. And he kept
said,
showing him with different
what did Trev think of it? And he said, well, he just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Yeah. Well,
Show the
the
shirt.
thing I remember about it is it all happened in about the course of 90 minutes while we were all in the chill room together.
Yeah, we were all talking, and he was creating while we were chatting.
What do you guys think of this? What do you think of this? Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want this? Scrappa. All of a sudden, I'm like,
no,
how does
I got a
Scrappa
guy.
have koozies? Like, I don't even have a business card that looks good. Scrappa's got a freaking koozie, and he's got a van wrapped, and all of a sudden, it's like, wait a second. How is the Australian flag got Scrappa in the corner of it? Like, it didn't make sense to me. But yeah, I thought Jimmy crushed that, and I just wanted to make sure we didn't, because Jimmy was there with us in the beginning, and I thought it would only be fitting that we make sure Jimmy
think that's wonderful.
Jimmy gets.
I was going to, as we're probably running out of time, and there's a couple of things I'd like to finish off with, and
why don't you take us out, Scrappa, then with your final thoughts?
Yeah, so, it hasn't been all glory and smooth sailing. There has been times where I'd want to give up, wanted to sell me gear, and, people would say, no, keep at it. You're right. You're doing the right stuff. And, so it hasn't been smooth sailing for the whole lot. There was a point, I reckon it would have been a bit over 12 months ago, I got a PM off a private message through Facebook of a young guy that was looking for a DJ, and I was recommended to him. He wanted to listen to a mix, and I had a mix up on Mixcloud. It was one of the ones that I'd done from Twitch, so it had me talking, and I explained that to him. And I got a message back, and he said, "You're not a effing DJ, and you'll never be a effing DJ.
Wow.
Go find something else to put your time into." I took that a bit. Yep, no worries.
Troll.
I'll go, well,
Troll.
You say that, I'm going to prove you wrong. And
Yeah,
that's
but
when
I'd
I
been
went-
Scrappa. I'd been drinking, and I apologize. I'm just
I said, no, I'm going to prove him wrong.
jealous.
And that's when I went and found the DJ course, which was Club Ready DJ School, controller to Club Ready. And I got motivated, and I thought, I'm going to prove this guy that I'm not just no ordinary DJ. I am a DJ that is good and can do it. So that just came in a bit more, I'm going to prove him wrong, which I think I can now.
like that attitude. I like that.
Yeah.
So, it's not all plain sailing. The other thing is there is some great people, not only from DJ and TV Chill Room, that has supported and followed and encouraged me and guided me. So there's the likes of Brian, Howie, John, Robin, Bill, Alex, Deb. There's probably others there that I've...
Jay.
No,
Jay.
not Jay.
No.
That have supported me. There's also the others that are from the other Zoom group that which is Alex is there, but there's DJ Scruffo, Glenn McBride, the Audio Brothers. There's also Scotty Mack, Tim Densley, which is I Am DJ Task, his wife Kobe Justice. The support those guys are giving me, the supporters and fans on Twitch that came in regularly, Mary Quite Contrary, DJ Boomba, DJ Cuba Mix, there was House Club DJ from Tokyo. There's probably many more that I can't remember off the top of my head that have supported me through my Twitch journey. There's people that have supported me on Mixcloud that are really following me on Mixcloud. I keep getting PMs off them. When's your next mix coming up? Supporting me. I graduated from the I sent a mix in because you've got to send a mix into the Club Ready DJ school for grading, as you could say, to get your little certificate to say you've graduated and completed. I thought, yeah, it was okay. I've sent it in just to get some feedback, see where I can improve. I did not expect the email that I got back to say that I was graduated and the feedback from that. And then I posted that mix up on Mixcloud, and the feedback I got there really shows me that I am heading in the right direction. It's always going to be a learning thing. So I am grateful for all those people, the input. If there's any new wannabe DJs that are going to watch this, I can't recommend a better DJ school if they wanted to go down that path, apart from DJ and TV stuff, is Club Ready DJ, because it's not only a course. This guy actually supports and gives back. So from there, there's that DJ, Club Ready DJ tribe. They are starting to post events and radio stations and all this sort of stuff. So he's not there just to take the money and send you on your way. Sorry, DJ and TV, for that little plug for that. But these are people that have helped me. The other one, big shout out, is Jimmy.
Yeah.
The last 6 to 12 months, I get phone calls. It'd be at some weird hour through Facebook
That's
Messenger. And I'm, probably the saddest thing is he really wanted to see me get my first gig. And he'd do graphics for me and go, and I go, look, Jimmy, you've done enough for me. You've done my logo, you've done this, you've done that. He goes, no, I've got to do a flyer for you. I want you to get it.
That was him.
Yeah.
And I think Jimmy was probably one of my biggest supporters out there. And
because he was a real DJ and he wanted to see you be a real DJ, which is what you are.
Yeah, so a big,
Totally
special thanks to Jimmy.
Just a good man.
He was.
By the way, I have to say real fast, I looked on Twitch real quick to see. Luckily, the way Twitch is set up, the less followers you have, the better. Because I have 304, John has 306, Scrappa has 649. So you're not there yet, Scrappa, because you have more followers than us. But I'm just saying. I know the lower numbers. It's like golf.
Yeah,
lower numbers are better. Right,
put that man
right,
off.
John?
Yep.
Yeah,
I want to stay south of 500. Not
I
this
better start
49.
losing some followers
On
then.
that note, we're going to end it and say thank you and congratulations, Scrappa.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for sharing your story.